Let's get one thing straight right from the start. You're still here. You're still standing. And that means something. That means you've made it through the things that were meant to break you, the moments that felt like the end, the days you didn't think you'd survive, the heartbreaks, the rejections, the doubts, the nights no one saw, when you were curled up, questioning everything, even yourself. But you're here, maybe scarred, maybe tired, maybe unsure, but you're here. And let me tell you something. That means you still have power, because you didn't fold. You didn't disappear. You didn't let it all win. You kept showing up, even if it was messy. You kept breathing. You kept going. And you might not give yourself credit for it, but you should, because most people don't make it this far. Most people quit when it gets heavy. Most people retreat when the world stops clapping. But not you. You kept walking without applause. You kept hoping when the world gave you none. You kept believing, maybe just a little, maybe only on your good days, but still something in you whispered, "Not yet. I'm not done." That voice, that's your fire. That's your strength. That's the version of you that refuses to stay down. Listen, I know how hard it is to rebuild yourself when nobody believes in you, when no one claps for you, when people walk away, when they doubt you, laugh behind your back, or pretend you don't exist. It's lonely. It's painful. It's real. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. You don't need their belief to rise again. You just need your own. Because rebuilding isn't about them. It's about you. It's about staring at the mess, the ruins, the wreckage of what you thought your life would look like, and choosing to pick up the first piece. Then the next. Then the next. It's about waking up and saying, "I know it doesn't look like much right now, but I'm not done." It's about taking one small action, even when you're still healing. It's about building without applause, without guarantees, without validation. It's about becoming your own hero. The world won't always hand you second chances. People won't always stay. Some won't even believe you can do it. But here's what they don't know. You were built for comebacks. You were made to fall and rise again. Stronger, smarter, wiser. You were made for this. And I know, some days it feels like starting over is impossible. It feels like you've lost too much, like you're too far gone, like the version of you that believed, that dreamed, that smiled like they meant it, is gone. But that version, they're still in there. They've just been quiet for a while, waiting for you to remember who you are. And you don't need to have it all figured out today. You don't need to fake being okay. You just need to start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start even if your hands are shaking, even if your voice is small, even if you're scared. Because it's not about feeling fearless. It's about doing it scared. It's not about waiting for perfect. It's about showing up broken and building anyway. It's not about what they think. It's about what you choose. And right now, you get to choose. You get to choose if you let the past hold you hostage, or if you rise from it. You get to choose if you let their doubt define you, or if you let it fuel you. You get to choose if you stay in the story of pain, or write a new chapter of power. You get to choose you, even if no one else does. So don't wait for them to understand your journey. Don't beg for their belief. Don't pause your progress because they can't see the vision. You're not rebuilding for them. You're rebuilding for every version of you that didn't quit, for every night you cried alone, for every day you kept going in silence, for the future you that will look back and whisper, "Thank you for not giving up on me." Because one day, all this pain, all this rebuilding, all this lonely effort will become your testimony. It will become your proof that even when it felt like the world had given up on you, you didn't give up on yourself. So if you're listening to this right now, hear me. You are not finished. You are not too broken. You're not too far gone. You are becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming who you were always meant to be. Every scar, every setback, every silent moment, it's all part of the story. You are rebuilding a masterpiece, and it won't happen overnight. It won't be pretty. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it, because in the end, no one can take from you what you build for yourself. So don't wait to be seen. Don't wait to be approved. Don't wait for applause. Look in the mirror. That's your builder. That's your warrior. That's your comeback. You're still standing. And that means the rebuild begins now. Let's go. People will doubt you. That's almost guaranteed. They'll whisper. They'll roll their eyes. They'll throw your past at you like it defines who you are. And that's okay. Because this rebuild, it's not for them. It's for you. You got to stop waiting for the world to say, "We believe in you," and start telling yourself that first. The truth is, the world will catch on after you rise, not before. Every comeback starts in silence. Every transformation starts in private. When it's just you, your scars, your regrets, and your choice to stand up anyway. So if you're building yourself back up from pain, from failure, from heartbreak, from self-doubt, keep going, even if they laugh, even if they leave, even if no one claps. Believe in your future more than they believe in your past. Let me tell you something important right now. Rebuilding your life doesn't happen in some overnight moment of glory. It's not a movie scene with dramatic music and a slow-motion comeback. It's not fireworks. It's not flashy. It's not even obvious to most people watching from the outside. It's brick by brick. And I get it. That doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't sound fast. But you know what it is? Real, sustainable, solid. That's how real transformation works. You lay the first brick, then the next one, and then the next. Even when your hands are tired, even when your heart's still healing, even when your faith is shaky and your legs are wobbling, you show up, you build. Nobody claps for that first brick. Nobody's watching when you're quietly fixing what's broken inside you, when you're trying again for the 5th time, when you're making the small, barely noticeable changes that no one else understands. But those bricks matter more than anything, because the most powerful structures, the strongest, the tallest, the ones that last, are built slowly, carefully, with intention. And that's what you're doing. Rebuilding yourself isn't loud. It's quiet. It's showing up at the gym when your motivation is gone. It's opening that book instead of scrolling for hours. It's apologizing when your ego wants to fight. It's waking up early even though you want to hit snooze. It's speaking kindly to yourself when your inner critic is screaming. It's forgiving people who will never apologize. It's forgiving yourself. That's the work that rewires you. That's the kind of rebuilding no one sees until they do, until the results start showing, until they wonder how you suddenly changed. But you know the truth. There was nothing sudden about it. You built that version of you. One hard, thankless, quiet brick at a time. And sometimes those bricks feel small, too small to matter. But trust me, they matter. That one brick, choosing to get out of bed instead of giving up, matters. That one brick, choosing to show love to yourself instead of tearing yourself down, matters. That one brick, choosing to keep going when no one else is cheering, matters. You want to rebuild yourself? Don't wait for the big moment. Focus on the small ones, the daily choices, the micro wins, the invisible effort, because they're not invisible forever. Over time, they start to stack. They form something solid. They give you momentum. And that momentum, that becomes a wall. That wall becomes a house. That house becomes a home, a future, a life you can be proud of. But here's the part that people don't like to hear. It's going to take time. And it's not going to be perfect. Some bricks will fall. Some days you'll feel like you knocked over the whole thing. Some days you won't even want to try. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be committed. Commitment beats perfection every time. Because a committed person keeps showing up even after a bad day. A committed person lays the next brick, even when the last one cracked. A committed person understands. One failed brick doesn't mean the whole building is useless. You fall, you fix, you try again. That's how rebuilding works. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to feel alone. You're going to question why you're doing all this when no one seems to notice. But keep building. One more rep. One more healthy choice. One more deep breath when your anger wants to explode. One more day without quitting. Keep laying bricks. Because one day, you'll look around and realize you're not in the rubble anymore. You're standing inside something you built. And the people who doubted you, the ones who left, the ones who laughed at you, They'll have no choice but to respect it, not because you demanded it, but because you became it. You became strong. You became focused. You became the person they said you'd never be, brick by brick. And listen, this isn't about proving them wrong. This is about proving to yourself what's been true all along. You were always capable. You just needed to start. You just needed to stop waiting for permission and start laying the first stone. So if today feels slow, if it feels hard, if you don't see the finish line, remember this. Rebuilding isn't a race. It's a decision to keep going. No matter how far you have left, you don't need to be fast. You just need to be faithful to the process, to the vision, to yourself. And when it gets heavy, when you want to throw it all away, pause, breathe, remember why you started, then pick up the next brick. That's how greatness is built. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. You've got this. Let them underestimate you. Let them walk away. Let them think you're not coming back. Because while they're busy watching for noise, you'll be building your empire, one powerful, intentional, unshakable brick at a time. Keep going. Let's be real for a second. There's going to be people who doubt you, people who talk behind your back, people who smile in your face and secretly hope you don't make it, people who once loved you but now root against you, people who left when things got messy. That's life. It hurts, but it's part of the process. The truth is, the world doesn't always hand you belief, support, or applause. So what do? You build anyway. But not just anything. You build something they can't tear down. Because when you're rebuilding yourself, you don't want a fragile identity that breaks every time someone doubts you. You don't want a confidence that only lasts when life is easy. You don't want strength that only shows up when everything's going your way. You want unshakable. You want unbreakable. You want the kind of inner strength, discipline, and purpose that stands tall, no matter who walks away, no matter who claps, no matter who criticizes. And you don't get that by accident. You build that. You build that through consistency when no one is watching. You build that through effort when no one is cheering. You build that by making choices that align with your future, even if they don't feel good in the moment. Here's the secret. The stuff that truly lasts, it's built underground before anyone ever sees it. Think about skyscrapers. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation. The stronger the roots, the harder it is to knock it down. So if you feel like you're being buried right now, like nobody sees your growth, like all your effort is invisible, good. That's your foundation season. That's your root work. That's where real strength is born. Because if you skip that part, if you build your life on approval, applause, or quick wins, the first door will destroy everything. But if you build on values, on self-respect, on real work, on quiet integrity, no one can take that from you. They can call you names. They can mock your past. They can reject your comeback. But they cannot take away what you built with your own two hands. Not when it's real. Not when it's earned. Not when it's rooted deep inside who you are. So build that kind of life. Don't build to impress. Build to endure. Let them gossip while you grind. Let them doubt while you dig deep. Let them watch. Because one day they won't believe what you become. And no, this won't be easy. You'll want to react. You'll want to explain yourself. You'll want to scream, "I'm trying," to people who don't even care. But you don't owe them an explanation. You owe you a commitment. Because this isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about becoming someone you respect, someone you believe in, someone you don't have to hide from. And trust me, when you build something real, something rooted in values, in grit, in purpose, the people who try to tear you down won't know what to do with you. They won't be able to shake you. Because you're no longer built from broken approval. You're built from discipline, from self-trust, from scars that turned into armor. You're not the same version of you that broke down. You're the version that rebuilt. Stronger, sharper, wiser, louder in silence. You've been through the fire, and you didn't just survive. You forged something inside of you that the world can't take away. They can take your job. They can take your money. They can take the relationship. They can take their support. But they can't take your resilience. That's yours. That's what rebuilding gives you. Something no one can steal. And when that kind of power lives inside you, you no longer wait for approval. You no longer need validation to keep moving. You move because you're called to. You rebuild because you're worth it. That's what I want you to hold on to. You are worth rebuilding. Even if they don't think so. Even if they laugh. Even if they leave. Even if you doubt yourself sometimes. You are worth every hard day. Every small win. Every lonely night. Every brick you lay. Because when it's all said and done, you won't just have a comeback story. You'll have a legacy. A life that's real. A strength that's tested. A version of yourself that they never saw coming. Not because you were lucky, but because you built it. So take your pain. Take your setbacks. Take the doubt. Take the silence. And build. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait for motivation. Don't worry who's watching. You're not here to entertain them. You're here to elevate yourself. Build something they can't tear down. A mindset that doesn't crack. A heart that stays kind in a cruel world. A discipline that shows up even when you don't feel like it. That's your foundation. That's your power. That's your comeback. Start now. Let me tell you something you might not hear enough. This is your moment. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you've got it all figured out. Not when everything's perfect. Right here. Right now. As messy, tired, uncertain, or doubted as you might feel, this is still your moment. You don't need a big stage or a crowd or a round of applause to make this moment count. You just need you. Let's stop waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for people to understand. Waiting for the fear to go away. Waiting for the pain to stop. Waiting for someone to come back and say, I believe in you now. No one is going to hand you your moment. You claim it. You create it. You become it. Listen, I know what it's like to feel like you miss your shot, like you've fallen too far behind, like other people pass you by. You see them shining, and you start questioning if you've still got time, if your light still matters. But you do. You do. And here's why. You're still breathing. That means your story isn't over. That means your moment hasn't passed. That means something in you is still worth building, fighting for, becoming. Don't let people tell you your moment is only when you make it. Don't let the world convince you that success is the moment, that the award is the moment, that the comeback only counts when everyone claps. No, your moment is this quiet choice right now, the one where you decide, I will not give up on myself. That's it. That's the turning point. Because that moment when you choose to rebuild, when no one's watching, when no one believes in you, when it feels like the odds are stacked against you, that's the moment that changes everything. That's the one you'll remember. That's the one that separates the people who rise from the ones who settle. Anyone can be confident when things are easy. Anyone can smile when they're winning. But it takes something different, something deep, something raw, something real, to stand back up when everything tells you to stay down. And that something, that's in you. Maybe life broke you a little. Maybe people walked away. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe the shame is loud and the future feels fuzzy. Still, this is your moment. You don't have to wait to be healed to rise. You rise while you heal. You rise while it's hard. You rise while the doubts scream louder than belief. Because rising isn't about perfection. It's about decision. It's saying, I'm not staying down. I don't care how many times I failed. I don't care who stopped believing. I will get back up. This is where you begin again. This is where you become. This is where you say, maybe the world doesn't believe in me right now, but I believe in what I can become. Look, I don't know what your story looks like. I don't know what pain you've carried or what dreams you buried just to survive. But I do know this. What you build now, in this very moment, matters. It might not be flashy. It might not impress the world yet. But one step in your own direction, just one step, is a revolution. That's you fighting for you. That's you turning the page. That's you no longer waiting for permission. And that's powerful. Most people never give themselves that shot. They live on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect feeling, the perfect timing, the perfect version of themselves to show up and save the day. But that version, that hero, that stronger, wiser, unshakable version, they only show up when you move, when you step into mess and say, let's go. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, it's scary, but it's yours. And nobody can take that from you. Nobody can take the moment you chose to believe again. Nobody can take the moment you decided to rebuild. Nobody can take the moment you found your strength in the struggle. You don't have to scream it from rooftops. You don't have to make it Instagram perfect. You just have to keep showing up for yourself. Quietly, consistently, powerfully, because this is your moment. To stop shrinking. To stop apologizing for your dreams. To stop letting doubt win. To stop waiting for someone else to say you're enough. You are enough right now. Not once you're fixed. Not once you're rich. Not once they come back and apologize. You're enough when you decide to be. When you say, this version of me, the rebuilding one, the quiet one, the gritty, still learning, still healing one. Yeah, this version deserves a shot. 2. So take it. Take the shot. Start the project. Write the song. Apply for the job. Make the call. Get back in the gym. Pick up the pen. Start the business. Whatever your thing is, whatever dream you buried or gave up on because you didn't feel worthy of it anymore, dig it up and start again. This is your moment, not theirs. Not the perfect version of you in your head. Not some future fantasy where everything is flawless. Right here, right now, broken but brave. You don't need anyone else's belief to move. You don't need a perfect plan to begin. You don't need the applause to take one more step. All you need is you. This is where your comeback begins. Hey, if no one told you lately, I'm proud of you. Not because you're perfect, but because you haven't quit. So keep building, keep believing, keep showing up for yourself. You don't need to be loud. Just be real. You don't need their validation. Just keep walking. Rebuild yourself in the dark. And when your light shines again, don't forget who lit the first match. If this hit your heart, if you felt seen, hit that subscribe, drop a like, and share it with someone who needs it. Let's grow together. Let's rebuild louder than the doubt. Your comeback? It starts now.